Hey, it's Rashida Jourdain. I was telling my sons the other day about when I was in middle school, how I used to fight all the time. Now, I know that comes as a surprise. I haven't always been this quiet and shy. You know how you all know. I could just hear my husband laughing in my mind. Good thing he's at work when I'm recording this. But I was just telling them about some of the things I had to go through in sixth and seventh and eighth grade, being born in Chicago on the west side. From sixth to eighth grade, we fought a lot, right? So the girls didn't like me and they didn't like my sisters. And it wasn't that we started the fights, but we did have to make sure we ended them. And so sometimes you're in a situation where you didn't start the fight, but you have to end it. Well, I remember two particular times that came to my mind when I was thinking about Ukraine and their situation, but in the natural, okay, on a smaller scale. I remember one time I was going to the library with this girl named Lakeisha, and Lakeisha was supposed to be my friend. And the library was maybe about 2 miles away. At this time, you kind of knew which areas to stay out of, but I thought this was a neutral zone. So I went to the library, and on my way home, I ran into this girl named Tiny. And Tiny was a high schooler that didn't like me. She didn't like my sister. So it was really like my sister's enemies became my enemies, even though I was in seventh grade. And so she called me off of my jurisdiction, so to speak. And so she began to talk crap, and for me to show her I wasn't a punk, I'm away from home, but you're not just gonna run over me just because I'm over here. I began to say some things back to her. Well, this other girl named Brandy was her friend, but she pretended to be my friend in a moment. She pretended to say, Tiny, chill out. What's going on? Why don't you leave this girl alone? She hasn't done anything to you. And for a second, I thought I had a friend. I thought I had an ally. Okay. And she began to ask me what was happening. And I was like, yeah, well, she's telling me X, Y, and Z. And before I knew it, that girl slapped me. And I was stunned. I was shocked. Now I'm in the throes of this fight between these two girls, one who pretended to be my ally and then the other one that was the enemy, and I was just confused. And so needless to say, I got beat up and my friend Lakeisha didn't help, okay? So I ran home and this turned into what ended up being a 2-day fight, okay? Second day, happened to see the girl who started the fight in the grocery store. And I was in the grocery store with my friend named Terrence and his grandfather, and when she walked in and she walked past me and she looked at me like, yeah, you know what it is. You know what I did to you yesterday. And then she went on to proceed to grocery shop. Well, in that instance, I told Terrence, I said, I'll be back. I'll see you later. And now she was closer to my home. I ran home. I got my big sister. My big sister came back and met her just in time as she was exiting the grocery store. And she felt the wrath of my sister. So, we hemmed her up. Well, my sister hemmed her up in the doorway. Okay, so this is day 2 of this ongoing battle. You jumped on my sister, Rashida. So the next day, we see you, we jump on you. Okay. Day 3, I knew I was in for it, and so they brought the posse from high school on day 3 to meet me. So when I got out of school on day 3, I was surrounded by enemies. I was also surrounded by spectators and people in school who wanted to see a fight, and so the fight began to move. But what they didn't know is that I also had some real allies. My sisters were there. My mom was there. And we had an aunt there, which was a secret weapon. Nobody knew about this aunt. She was too old to be recognized because she wasn't our age group, so they didn't really know she was there. Well, long story short, my mother said, just keep walking, keep walking. So we walked home. And when we crossed the street on our side of Chicago Avenue, it was a police station on the corner. Now my mother asked the girl, why did you jump on my daughter 2 days ago? Well, the girl just, got flip mouth with my mom, and my secret weapon auntie started it off. And next thing I know, we're in this big fight in the middle of Chicago Avenue across from the police station, and this big brawl is happening. Well, this ended up being a 3-day fight, and I learned a lot of things. The friend that I was with on day 1 wasn't really a friend. She was somebody I went to school with. She didn't help me in that fight. And then I also learned that the girl who pretended to help me wasn't an acquaintance. She was just kind of having fun to set me up so she could fight me too. Well, day 2, my sister did what big sisters do, right? And so we got even with her, but then the fight went on to day 3. And on day 3, it was an all full out, okay? So I was thinking about this for a second when it came to Ukraine, about allies. You're surrounded by your enemy in the front on the east, and then you have all these NATO allies who claim to, who are in union with each other, but you're not in union with them, so they won't help you, so you're alone to fight. A second fight I had, I was on my way home from school, and this girl, and I was in 8th grade, and her cousin was walking toward me, but I was with a group of people that were my friends, so to speak. I mean, I guess we were friends, but that doesn't mean that they will fight with me. I know you. We break bread together, we laugh together, we play arcade and Pac-Man, but you're not gonna fight with me, okay? And so the girl and her cousin just bumped into me and a fight started. And I could promise you, I feel like it's yesterday. I think while I was trying to fight this girl, getting double teamed with her and her cousin, you know, I could hold my own a little bit. I promise you, I think I saw some of the people I was with get some kicks in on me too. You can't really see when you're fighting, but I know legs coming from behind me shouldn't be the ones in front of me. And so who I thought were my allies and friends, I think were getting some licks in on me as well. All right, that's 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, right? We all passed that, and here I am today. But what happens when you have a bully and you have friends that you think are your allies and you really find yourself alone? This is the situation that Ukraine is in. They have a formidable enemy on the front, and then they have NATO, which they're not a part of, which are allies with one another, saying, hey, well, you know, we'll do sanctions and we'll do this, but we're not going to help you fight. Sometimes you need someone in the fight with you. You need someone to throw the hooks with you, okay, to go down with you. We're going to go down. I need somebody to go down with me. Well, looking at Ukraine's situation, NATO won't move, and Russia knows it. But you can call on the name of Jehovah Tsaba, the Lord our God, who is a warrior. And I've been praying for Ukraine this entire time. I've been praying that the Lord, the Lord of the heavens armies, we got to understand that God is a commander in chief, that he will fight battles that no man can win. So continue your prayers for Ukraine, because it's not by might nor by power, but by his spirit. And God has slayed nations without even his people having to fight. Keep your prayers up for Ukraine. Check your enemies, check your allies, check your friends, because maybe who you think is in your corner, they're not in your corner. And sometimes you're going to find yourself fighting a battle alone and fighting Satan alone. But if God be for you, he's more than the world against you. So continue to pray for Ukraine in this dark hour. In Jesus' name. All right, I'll see you next time. I love you. Have a good day.